Hi guys, I'm your dorky friend Lisa and welcome back to my channel. I have a slight confession to make, people. I've had a couple margaritas. I'm filming a little bit later in the day than I normally would. My friend Blanche, who I give shout out to, came over because she's going to a punk rock show this weekend and wanted to raid my wardrobe and also steal some of my makeup. My Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette is with her, not in my closet in possession. Anyway, I still have salsa on my shirt. That's how bad it is. But anyway, she and I were discussing what to do today, and she was in my library, and I had come up with 3 or 4 ideas. More than likely, I'll do them in the future. TV shows based on books, Netflix shows based on books, movies based on books, of course that's the most popular, and even Broadway plays based on books. Yes, people, Broadway plays. I put my hands on 2, not 1, but 2, within 2 seconds of being in my library. So today though, in honor of Blanche and her punk rock show, we're going to talk about something very punk rock. Fairy tales. That's right, people, fairy tales. I grew up watching them, so did you. Disney controlled our childhood. Everyone saw Snow White, Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, all of these things. Most of us little girls wanted to be princesses. I just wanted to run around and get into trouble, but then again, that's just me. So, a lot of you may know that those Disney movies that we loved and adored were watered down versions of the original based on very evil people like the Brothers Grimm. Ruin our childhood every time. Snow White, not so Snow White. We had, you know, people trying to cut out her heart. Cinderella, we had stepsisters cutting off toes and bits of their feet to fit in those glass slippers, and crows pecking out their eyes. The Little Mermaid did not have the happy sea wedding that we all loved and adored. No, she turned into foam and died. And the most popular version that the Disney company, of course, used, but there was an older version where she not only technically died, but died, turned into a sea monster, and killed the prince. So yes, people, Prince Eric did not survive that one. Anyway, so I'm going to go into some modern remakes, adaptations of the classic fairy tales, and also let you know that Dorothy is not the end-all be-all of Oz. That story is 10 books. 10. See how this fat book? This is 5. And this is the other 5. You can get these compliments of Barnes & Noble so that they're, you know, big volumes all together, not 50 million little books. Anyway, so I'm going to go into an author that did get a movie a few years ago, which is Alex Flynn. She's written several books. All of the ones that I've read by her are very well written, very good. I think she's had like 7 or 8 books. I've read like 5 of her books. But the movie that she had, of course, was Beastly, starring the lovely Selena Gomez and the hot boy who played the Beast, who I don't know his name. Anyway, of course, her modern adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, and the witch Kendra, played by one of the Olsen twins, of course, has her own book, which is Bewitching. Which basically goes into the fact that there are very few witches left in the world, and all the witch shenanigans in the classic stories we loved are basically her. And then there is A Kiss in Time, which is her adaptation of Sleeping Beauty. These are all really good. But we're going to go punk rock. We're going to go modern. We're going to go original. We have Miss Holly Black, okay? And look out for that name, people. I bet you dollars to donuts Netflix is going to be hitting her up in the next year or 2. She has this 3-book series, which is Tilth, Valiant, and Ironside, which is just that, a modern tale of fairy, a modern fairy tale. Basically, it revolves around a 16-year-old named Kay, whose mother is a punk rock musician and is now trying to settle down and keep like a normal life sort of with Kay. Kay's trying to live at a more homey life, but there's still, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. She inadvertently meets this guy named Reuben, who turns out to be a fairy. Later on, find out royalty. And they go on adventures. She falls in love with him, of course. Don't they always? And she herself ends up finding out that she is a changeling, which, if you're not familiar with mythological terms, basically means that she is a fairy herself who was the replacement for a human child, which is, you know, common in a lot of old folklore. Basically, the human child was taken and put in a fairy seclusion kind of deal with very little contact with anything, with anyone, I should say, and they don't age. And personally, like in this book, playing in a meadow all day, it sounds pretty damn fun as a child. But anyway, so I highly recommend them. There is, again, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They're very punk rock, very modern. Takes place in New York through most of the, well, New York and Fairyland in the story. I highly recommend her. She has a few other books. They're all really good. If you're into fairies or modern fairy tales, message me in the comments below and I will suggest some other authors too. There are quite a few, even a couple of local Virginia authors that I've read that are really great. And as always, guys, I had fun. I hope you did too. And I've got some ideas coming up. Next week I'm making a hate video. Yes, I said hate. I spent money not once, but twice on books that were not good, just so I can show them to you. And I'm not a literary snob, believe me. I read literary porn. I read sci-fi trash. If it's entertaining, I will read it. These books were not worth my money once, let alone twice. But I'm going to give them to you as a warning. So anyway, hit that like button if you liked this, and definitely subscribe so I know you guys are out there. And I hope to see you here next time, guys. Bye.